Literary criticism is the analysis, interpretation, and evaluation of literary works. It involves examining the elements of a text, considering its historical and cultural context, and often placing it within the broader framework of literary theory. Literary criticism provides readers and scholars with tools to understand, appreciate, and engage with literature on a deeper level. Here are some key approaches and methods within literary criticism. 1. Formalist criticism. Formalist critics focus on the formal elements of a literary work, such as its structure, style, language, and symbolism. This approach seeks to understand how the literary techniques employed by the author contribute to the overall meaning and aesthetic impact of the text. 2. Historical criticism. Historical critics explore the historical context in which a literary work was written, aiming to understand how societal, political, and cultural factors influence the author and the text. This approach considers the impact of historical events on the creation and reception of literature. 3. Biographical criticism. Biographical criticism examines the life of the author and how personal experiences, beliefs, and relationships may have influenced their writing. This approach often seeks connections between an author's life and the themes or characters in their works. 4. Reader response criticism. Reader response critics focus on the reader's subjective experience and interpretation of a text. This approach considers how individual readers bring their own perspectives, experiences, and emotions to the reading process, shaping the meaning of the text. 5. Psychoanalytic criticism. Psychoanalytic critics, drawing from Freudian psychology, analyze the psychological motivations of characters and authors. This approach explores the unconscious elements of the text, delving into characters' desires, fears, and motivations. 6. Marxist criticism. Marxist critics examine literature through the lens of economic and social structures. This approach explores how class relations, power dynamics, and economic systems are reflected in literary works, emphasizing the social and political implications of literature. 7. Feminist criticism. Feminist critics analyze literature through the lens of gender, examining how gender roles, stereotypes, and power dynamics are portrayed and critiqued in literary works. This approach seeks to uncover and challenge patriarchal structures in literature and society. 8. Cultural criticism. Cultural critics explore the ways in which literature reflects and shapes cultural norms, values, and identities. This approach considers the intersections of literature with broader cultural phenomena, including race, ethnicity, nationality, and globalization. 9. Post-colonial criticism. Post-colonial critics examine the impact of colonialism and imperialism on literature. This approach explores how colonial histories, identities, and power structures are represented and contested in literary works, often focusing on voices from formerly colonized regions. 10. Queer theory. Queer theory examines representations of sexuality and gender identity in literature. This approach challenges normative assumptions about sexuality, advocating for a more inclusive and expansive understanding of gender and sexual identities. 11. Eco-criticism. Eco-critics explore the relationship between literature and the environment, analyzing how nature is portrayed and how literary works engage with ecological themes. This approach often considers the ethical and philosophical implications of human interactions with the natural world. These approaches to literary criticism are not mutually exclusive, and scholars often use a combination of methods to gain a comprehensive understanding of a text. Literary criticism provides a diverse toolkit for interpreting and appreciating the complexities of literature across genres, cultures, and historical periods.